Hey fellas, it's Vikash here. Welcome to Simply Learning. It must have happened with all of you that your mother has sent you to the grocery shop, and on reaching the shop, you have forgotten 7 out of the 10 items that she has asked you to bring. Also, on some occasions, you go to the refrigerator, you open the door, and you realize that you don't even remember what you came there for. Sometimes आप अपना चश्मा लेके ऐसे उठा के इधर रखते हैं और पूरे घर पे मंडराते रहते हैं आशिकों की तरह ये ढूंढते हुए कि चश्मा कहाँ पे रखा. ये सब चीजें क्यों होती है आपके साथ? This is primarily because your brain is divided into two categories, the explicit category and the implicit category. The implicit category tries to remember things unconsciously in the sense that the daily life things that we do, like brushing our teeth or taking a bath or watering the plants, these things are remembered unconsciously in the sense that you don't remember the exact details of what you have done. However, the explicit memory remembers things on a broader scale. For example, if you are going to sit for a presentation on the next day, you prepare for it, you consciously make an effort to remember those things. Such things are stored in the explicit memory. So naturally, explicit memory will have a better remembering mechanism. However, with studying, what happens is even though we concentrate on remembering things, over time those things get transferred to the implicit memory. Our effort with this video shall be to convert implicit memory into explicit memory so that we can remember things better. We will use memory tricks, we will use certain habits, we will use certain tried and tested scientific techniques of memory so that things can be remembered better. The first thing is that paper is a force. You have to understand that what you study, you write it down. Not only write down notes, but also after every study session, close your mind and try to think of the things that you have studied and write those down as well. So you will have an immediate self-taken test of your memory. Don't wait for your exams to test your capabilities. You test yourself right after you have finished a studying session. What you will realize is that you are not as prepared as you actually thought you were. So after taking the test, you see how well you have fared and grade yourself. Over time, when you do this, you will realize that your grading is improving. This will end up helping you during the final exams because you would have been acclimatized with the exam procedure and also the remembering techniques by the time the exam actually comes. However, some people are so prone to cheating that they cannot control themselves. So you can write the points down on flashcards and close your eyes and try to remember them and say them out loud. After you say what you've learned, you flip the flashcard and see what is written and see whether you remember it. Don't cheat. So then you can grade yourself based on that. This is guaranteed to improve your memory. As far as saying it out loudly is concerned, it's just not while memorizing things. While reading them also, you should read them out loud because when you see something in the book, you have a visual connection. When you hear, you have an audio-visual connection. So that in entirety will help you remember things better. आपको घर में बचपन से बोला जाता है जोर से पढ़ो, जोर से पढ़ो. This is why reading loudly helps. If need be, you can record yourself also and then hear what you have recorded. These days, with online learning being something that is there in our educational structure, people might be prone to typing. Even there will be times that in certain institutions it is already there where the teachers are giving lectures and people are typing them out instead of writing. You have to understand that writing is much better. Why? Because when you are typing it, you can type at the speed of the teacher dictating it. So your focus is more on the speed. You cannot process what the teacher is saying. However, when you write, you have to condense the information given by the teacher and write it down, or else you cannot pair yourself with their pace. So the moment you are condensing, you are processing the information. You are learning it firsthand at that moment itself. So this thing does not happen with typing. While typing, students do transcribing instead of learning. Furthermore, making mistakes is not that bad. Learn from your mistakes. Do not use whiteners. Do not tear off pages from the copies where you have made mistakes. Do not scribble out everything or scratch out everything where you've made a mistake. Just strike it out once. Why? Because then you can see your mistakes every time you read and you remember that you are not to repeat these mistakes. Thereby, the delete button in the keyboard while you type is a hazard, because that erases your memory, that tells you that you are infallible. No, you are prone to mistakes. You can learn from your mistakes, remember that. Point number 2 is the usage of context cues. What I mean is to relate to things while studying, in the sense that if you're studying a certain topic, you try and relate that with a real life event that has happened to you. Also, when the teachers are giving you certain notes, they also refer to certain examples which are not related to that subject but will help you understand it better. Something that has happened in their own lives, or something that happens in daily lives of ours, and they use those examples. Write those down immediately while taking the notes, because later on those will help you. If something of that sort is not given to you by the teacher, you try and picturize something which can relate to that topic. This is creating a cue which will help you. You can notice one thing while reading something. If on that page there is something written on the top of the page, or that page has a very big dog collar, or there is a color hue in that page, during the exams, when you try to remember the text of that page, the first thing you remember are those cues of the color texture of something being written, and that in turn helps you remember the text. This is a weird way of your brain helping you out while studying. If an apple falls down from your table while studying, something falls down while you are studying and it breaks off, you remember that, and you also remember what you were studying that time, because you can relate these two. So try and create cues of this sort. Do it in your mind. Don't end up creating fake and weird cues for yourself, because that is outrightly stupid. आप शीर्षासन में जाके पढ़ने की कोशिश मत कीजिए ताकि आपको याद रह जाएगा वो क्यू शीर्षासन के साथ आप रिलेट कर पाएंगे. No, that is not what I am saying. What I am saying is try to be aware of your environment when you sit for studies. If you are aware, then your mind and brain will find its own ways to remember things better. Also remember, you do not have to memorize everything. Find out what is important. If whatever is important, you memorize that. The things that are allied to that, the meaning of that will naturally come to you through the process of revising and reading over and over again. You can also use mnemonics, and you do not require pre-established mnemonics. For example, there is a mnemonic for trigonometry which is pretty common. Some people have curly brown hair turned permanently black. So this is used for the formula of sine, cos and tan theta. However, instead of that, you can create your own mnemonic for that. You don't need to use the tried and tested one. In India, some people use the other mnemonic of Pandit Badri Prasad Hari Hari Bole. Likewise, for any other thing, you can create your own mnemonics. You can relate the mnemonics with certain incident that has happened to you, something that is personal. You can think about आपके किसी टीचर के बारे में, आपके किसी गर्लफ्रेंड के बारे में, आपके परिवार के बारे में, आप उसके बारे में सोच के उससे mnemonics बना लो. Also, why don't we say NASA? Why do we call it NASA? Why don't we say PESTEL? Why do we say pestle analysis? Because that sound is easier to remember than the acronym broken up into the letters. Try to make your mnemonic in that manner, an acronym if you're using that, in that manner that it is easily rememberable. So if we are talking of sound, you know that nursery rhymes are very easy to remember. Not because you know the rhyme by heart, but because you know the tune. Every nursery rhyme has a certain tune, be it Twinkle Twinkle Little Star or Baba Black Sheep or Jack and Jill Went Up the Hill. All of them have certain tunes. So if there is something that you cannot remember at all, and it's something small, you try and give it a tune and you will be able to remember it better. Also, try to draw flowcharts, diagrams. These things help, they create a visual memory. If you're not good at drawing, draw a stick figure to explain what has happened, and do that in your copies, because that will help you remember. Do not be jealous. Try to teach others. Just because you are giving your knowledge to your friend, it does not mean he'll score more than you. In fact, it will help you learn better, because teaching also is a type of memorizing and revising also. Do group studies, or else you can divide what you have to learn into smaller chunks and tell X friend to learn this, Y friend to learn that, and you yourself will learn something else. Your study load will be lesser and you will learn more when you all sit for it and discuss it collaboratively. Third thing is spacing effect. Don't try to cram things up. Don't try to relearn things. That does not help. It overloads your brain and consumes a lot of energy, which ultimately does not help you much. There should be space between your practice periods. That helps. Distributed practice is a lot better than massed practice, in the sense that if you spread up your practice sessions into smaller chunks, that is better than studying long hours in one single session. This works better because of retrieval method. Our memory works better when it tries to find something stored in its database. So if you have studied something and given a relaxation, and thereafter you restudy it or revise it and have a quick revision, your memory will try to recollect that, and that way it will not forget things faster. So you study something for 25 to 30 minutes, take a short break, break and then sit for the second session. During the second session, give a quick recap of the first session and your memory will be able to remember everything better than in an extended long session. This is also discussed in a concept known as interval studying. Through interval studying, you remember, you forget, then again you remember. So it's a cyclic thing and it will help your memory get a lot better, and it will acclimatize your memory also with the pattern of studying which is correct. The same technique can be applied with regards to revision also. You should do frequent revisions at regular intervals and not pile everything up for the pre-exam period. Number 4 is mental stretches. Why do athletes do so much of warm-ups before their sessions? Why do you warm up before a heavy exercising session? Why? Because your body needs to get accustomed to that new scenario. Likewise is the situation with your brain as well. You cannot transition from a complex activity like watching a series, let's say Patal Lok, which is complex, or Westworld, which is also complex, and then immediately start studying integral calculus after that. That is not possible. You have to relax your brain, give it time enough to transition. For that, stretching and warming up is important. And you can use little mental games which help you in that. Do something simple but educating nonetheless. For example, solve a crossword or finish off a Sudoku game, lay cards on the bed and try the memory game that is done with cards for 5 to 10 minutes. Do not do anything that is strenuous for your memory, something light which will bring you back to the zone of studying, and then sit for studies. This transitioning will be easier. That is why it is often stressed that you should study in the morning, because you do not require transitioning. Your brain is calm in itself, and if you meditate beforehand before studying in the morning, that is even better. Point number 5 is interleaving. This is something which is neglected by students. Some people look down upon it, but it actually helps. It refers to regularly alternating between subjects in single sessions. If you are in a study session, let's say, which is a 2-hour session, after you break it up into chunks, try and study different things in different chunks. Like you study mathematics for an hour and then study history for a shorter period and then go to English. If you divide a study session in this manner, then your brain has to reactivate itself because there is no repetition, and it will not also get boring for you. That way you will remember things a lot faster. Rotating between topics makes your brain active. It makes your brain shift gears. For that, you need to make a smart routine. Having said all these things, what is the most important is to understand the logic behind the concept that you are studying. There is no replacement for this. This has to be done by you. And for that, try and relate to the topic. If you can relate your topic with any circumstance that you are aware of in your life or in your academic periphery, it will become easier for you to understand the concepts. If none of these things work, then change your learning technique. If there is a topic that you cannot understand any which way, watch a YouTube video or ask your friend to help you out. There is no harm in that. Do something different, and I'm sure it's going to help you. Finally, learn to eliminate fear. Don't have panic attacks. Don't worry so much about your studies. All you have to do is conscientiously follow the studying habits and studying tricks and academic habits and memory tricks which we have discussed in this video and 2 or 3 prior videos also. I can give the link in the description. If you follow that and bring them into your studying curriculum, there is no worry for you. One nice way to find out whether these tricks work is to write down right now in the comment section what you remember from this particular video. You will find out that you don't remember much, and it's just been 10 to 12 minutes. After that, you apply these techniques, and once a week or so elapses, log on into our next video or any other previous video and then try and write these things down. You will be shocked to find out that you remember everything. So until our next video, you have time enough. Along with all these things, you can go ahead and subscribe to our channel. You can follow us on our Instagram account. We have our Facebook page as well. And we also offer tuition classes to students, both live, online and physical classes as well. So you can check that out also on our Instagram handle. Until the next time we meet, bye-bye. Stay safe, stay happy. Namaste.